But Dave Weaver is it the Chief Investment Officer for CitySide Ventures, Dave?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. We've had Dave on the show today, and the reason we brought him back this time, other than he's a handsome guy and we all wanted you to be able to see him for Christmas, is that he's also going to recap the 2020 investment year, in which his group invested a little under $1.4 million in 18 startups. So why don't we talk a little bit about that, Dave? Is there a common thread in those startups? Was there, in terms of what they do or what their service or product was or anything like that?
Well, I have some stats on the mix, okay?
Sure.
That's what you're getting to. Out of the 18, the one domination sector was MedTech. They had 5 of those. Next was B2B to C with 4, but we had a smattering of artificial intelligence, B2B, digital, lifestyle, and AR, VR. So we had quite a mix of technologies. We're trying not to focus on just one area. We want to find the best deals that make the most sense to our investors and bring them in. In most cases, the deals have been pre-revenue. We've been lucky, a few of the companies have had revenue. And when you look at the recap, which I sent you for 2020, considering that the group only started in September of 2019, and we've invested in 18 different companies, 5 the first year in 2019 and 13 this year with only 9 meetings this year. Mm-hmm. I don't know of another group in the state that does that many deals in 1 year by themselves, and so we're very proud of our record. Like you said, a little over 1.4 million roughly in investments made in those companies over that period of time. So we have people are willing to write checks and pick deals that they like.
So I'm not a math major. That's why I'm in journalism. But so somewhere in the ballpark of 70, 80,000, 100,000 per deal, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably a good average size of the deal. Some deals, the minimum is like 100K. So sometimes if it's 100K minimum and the individuals are going to write 100K by themselves, you might do an SPV, special purpose vehicle, where it's a special LLC that's formed so people pool their money together to get that minimum and get a piece of more deals that way as well. They don't have to come in as heavy on every deal. So we've had like 3 SPVs during this course of time where people come in as little 5 or 10K, but up the ante, to get to a nice size investment.
Yeah, and then, sir, you also syndicate with other angel groups around the state, I'm assuming, and maybe outside the state?
So far, nobody outside the state, although we've had some interest on starting to establish more relationships with angel groups in the Midwest and outside the state of Michigan and the Midwest for syndication of deals. We are getting investments sent to us by other angel groups and people around the country, but dominantly it's been in Michigan for syndication. We've had some folks in Red Cedar and Blue Water Angels, syndicate deals with us, and we go back the same way to bring deals to them. So that's picking up. Most of these deals need more than one angel group, so you really have to find peace. You're either last in or you help them syndicate it after you go in.
Okay. And then I know in your previous life, you were leading the Great Lakes Angels, which was Michigan, Ohio, and parts of Ontario. Are your investors still from that geographic, the old world, as it were, the old space, or is it just exclusively Michigan investors?
No, we do have some people from outside the state that are joining Birmingham Angels. We have some folks interested in the New York, New Jersey area, actually, because they see a lot of good value in the valuations and technology here in Michigan. We've got some folks interested in Chicago and Atlanta and stuff like that. Plus, I was just on a recent call with some of the folks in Ontario that I think would like to look at our deals and vice versa, to do that. So the market's opening up now that a lot of companies are presenting in Zoom. It used to be you didn't invest in a company unless you could drive to it like the VCs, but now all the face-to-face is done on Zoom. So the geography is getting to be less of a barrier. As you know, Duran, my partner, is from Israel, so we're looking at deals coming from Israel as well. Matter of fact, a couple of the deals that will close this year will be from Israel that we've done. So that's opening that door there. Yeah, we contribute finding the right kind of investors who are willing to understand the risk with the platform of side pitch we put together for doing all the due diligence and making it completely transparent to the investors has really helped them make a decision. One reason we can do so many deals in such a short period of time is the amount of data that the entrepreneurs are forced to feed into the system. That saves a lot of due diligence time afterwards rather than, well, you forgot to give this, please send us this, and you wait a week for them to respond. That drags out. I know having raised money as a CEO before, you want to stop chasing the money and execute. So we like to make it a lot faster for them. So all the deals that we've closed on have been less than 60 days from the time they pitch to the time they get our check. That's remarkable. And that's because of the side pitch platform that we use. And so the platform is open for both investors to find more deals, to register as an investor, or entrepreneurs anywhere. They don't have to be just in Michigan to put their deal on there and be visible to investors that can see their deal as well.
Okay. The head blue devil. I was going to say the head blue devil has now joined us, Matt Roush. Go ahead,
Matt.
Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I just wanted to know, who did you develop this with? Who did you work with on it, and what were your examples sort of to create this new website?
Oh, well, we were just talking about the investment in general. I hadn't got to the point, but go ahead and introduce. You sent me this link just before the showtime.
Yeah.
It's called Side Pitch, and that's what Matt was referring to. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
It is really interesting. That's one of the reasons I'm late to this podcast here. I was looking at Side Pitch and I kind of got lost in it. So
yeah, it can happen. It started out being just side pitch for our own use internally, and Duran started that 2.5 years ago or so with a programmer who's working with him inside of CitySide at the time, and then he's been using outsourcing programmers to help develop it. But it was a place where we get the deal flow and do what we want to do with it as a venture management system, but also be able to syndicate easier with other groups by everything all in one package. Their video presentation, their cap table, all the business information, whatever they want to put up there, and we ask for it can be either in their input or as attachments to it. So if an investor missed a presentation in our group, they can go see the video, inside that folder for that company and stuff. That really helps facilitate the transactions. Now, as we spent more time with this, we decided to add new features to it, which is what you can see if you log on to Side Pitch now. Below where you log in as an investor or an entrepreneur, there's lots of information. Now it's a portal for collecting and transmitting information on early stage investments, technology, and startups. That's all we want to talk about. We don't want to talk about anything else other than this angel community area for investors, companies getting education information on the place. You can put podcasts there, you can put content on there, and we want to aggregate all kinds of information. We know where you are in the country. You can get important information, and it's current, it's refreshed. It's not there for months. It's there for maybe a few days or a week at the most, and it's gone. What's saving history, but there's new content coming up all the time.
Well, amazing.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time on this, and it's still evolving, but it's we're not done yet.
And it's available to the public at sidepitch.com.
Yeah, sidepitch.com. You don't need to be an investor or an entrepreneur to look at the content there. It's always good for everybody, and it's a good resource, Mike, for you to let people know if they're looking for stuff only in this area. You deliver a lot more than that, but this is the sole focus of this thing here. We're glad to support the angel community and investors, entrepreneurs in this market sector.
Huh. So go ahead, man.
Is there a fee for investors to get the inside dope on all these companies, or a fee on companies, or both, or what's the revenue structure like?
Yeah, right now, just having the content there for everybody to see on that portal is no fee for anybody that's viewing it. Okay, eventually there might be a fee for somebody posting something, but right now that's not the case. Now, as an investor, if you want to start seeing the deals, right now in Michigan there's no fee, but there will be a fee structure to that. That'll be a SaaS model. Okay, and the companies, when they register, pay a registration fee. It's a small fee, but now they have visibility to hundreds, hopefully, and more of angel investors. And in our case, they have exposure to us with people who are writing checks on a regular basis, and we'll continue doing that. We expect a real good 2021.
Yeah. All right. We got about 2 minutes left. So let's compress down this. Maybe people may not be familiar. I hear it all the time. Oh, just get money from a venture capitalist. I go, no, that's way down the line, So talk about what angel investors typically do.
We're early stage, right behind family and friends that help you get started. But when you want private money outside, you go to angels. Those are wealthy individuals who are willing to part with their own money and take the risk early on, oftentimes before you even have your first customers. You're just trying to get validation in the marketplace. There's a real business opportunity. We help evaluate that. We think it's real and you're real as a leader and the founder of the company. Then we'll talk about putting some money into it. We'll look at convertible debt or priced rounds. We'll do both. As I said, most of our companies are pre-revenue, but they started putting together a team that got good advisors and they got a good plan and they have some barriers to entry. It's really important. We don't want to invest in a company that has no protection somehow against people coming in, ripping off the technology with our money.
No, absolutely. All right. And then just real quickly, if people want to reach out to you to contact CitySide Ventures or Birmingham Angels or anything, how do they do that?
D. Weaver at CitySideVentures.com.
Okay.
Four-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life. But LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.